We celebrate national holidays on our show that often get overlooked, and today is October 15th, White Cane Safety Day, a day people celebrate. We celebrate people who are blind or visually impaired to put a spotlight on the white cane and how that cane can mean safety in each step. We've all heard the saying, walk in someone else's shoes. Well, I set out to walk in 16-year-old Matt Mitchell's shoes.
And I started getting scared that I was going to actually, hurt somebody, whack him in the ankle or something.
Matt enjoys Boy Scouts, math, and jokes. He's always ready to deliver a punchline, even at his own expense.
How many blind guys did it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
None, they don't need to.
As a kid, a brain tumor took away his sight.
When I first had my brain surgery, my vision wasn't anything like it is now.
Matt had to learn what it's like to live life to its fullest, without clear vision.
It was just vague movements if, something was moving. No colors, everything was like gray and black.
He navigates the world with an important tool, his white cane.
Once I learned how to use my cane and how to, move around and things like that, being blind, it's not that hard at all once you know how to do it correctly.
While I could never begin to understand what Matt experiences every day, I wanted to learn more about his challenges firsthand and how his white cane can be a symbol of independence for those who are blind or visually impaired.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you what it's like to be visually impaired, and we're going to cross a street, and then we're going to use an accessible pedestrian signal.
Craig Phillips is a mobility specialist with Kansas School for the Blind.
Wait.
Blindfolded, I found crossing the street intimidating. It's easy to get disoriented. I found you need to put a lot of trust in that cane and others on the road. It's the law that motorists are supposed to yield to anyone with a white cane, but distracted drivers often don't pay attention.
Vehicles are required by law to stop, which doesn't mean they always do. However, that's the law.
Unable to rely on seeing a vehicle or sign, I used that white cane to avoid tripping or getting hit. And I knew I had good teachers in Matt and Craig.
Now you're up out of the street, and you had a very successful crossing.
That white cane, which had been a symbol of blindness to me, became a sign of mobility and courage.
Very nicely done, Michelle.
I see things in such different ways, and ever since I've lost my vision, my parents would agree I've been much more mature.
Last year, White Cane Safety Day was also named Blind Americans Equality Day by President Barack Obama. Well, sure, it's one day to think about. As a driver, it's something we should think about every day and not just one day on a calendar. And Matt told me stories about how a person grabbed his cane to help him across the street. So don't do that. Just pay attention. If you see someone with a white cane, yield to them. It's the law. And they want to be independent. But I love Matt. He was so sweet. And thank you to Matt and Craig at Kansas School for the Blind for a very memorable experience. He was funny. He was so funny. He was like, okay, are you blind? Are you blonde? He's like, oh, I got blonde jokes and blind jokes for you. So we were just firing back and forth. He'd say a blind joke and I'd say a blonde joke.
There you go.
He was a very cool kid.